Okay, I've been playing around with the Figma Code to Canvas that has been all over the internet. Essentially, it's an update to the Figma MCP, and the result of it basically means that you can take your code and export it into your Figma file, and then from your Figma file back into the code. And I want to tell you why I think this is a massive shift in how we build applications, but I'm also going to break it down the different components so we thoroughly understand what's going on, because I see a lot of people getting confused and unable to actually get a result from this thing. I do have a deep dive on the Figma MCP, which you can go check out there. It will contain some best practices and things like that, just in case I failed to mention some things here. So let's just show you what it can do first and foremost. So I have everything installed, and don't worry, we're going to break it down eventually. I've got Claude opened here inside of my personal website. Here is my personal website. Now, I think it looks okay, but this could be a vibe coded app that has no input from design, just purely the AI has decided what the design should be, what the UX should be. Most of the time looking very generic. Now with the Figma MCP, I can say export the homepage to Figma. Now, oftentimes it needs to know what page or where it is that you want to send it to. So I have Figma open here. I'm literally going to press Command-Shift-C there and just paste that in. So we'll let it do its thing. I'm just going to give it a poke. I'm going to say it's on 3001. So it's going to open that website up, which we already had it open, but it's going to do it anyway. And now it's going to begin to capture the website. Now it needs to add a bit of script for it to be able to do that. So it's going to figure that out now. Capture script isn't auto executing. I'll temporarily add the Figma capture script. So this is something that the Figma MCP tells it to do. And you can see this, it's opened it up again, but you can see it's loading this little thing here that's obviously loaded from this capture script. The home page has been exported to your Figma file and we can see it there. So we can, now it's opened it in the actual Figma app. And I'll get into why I was using the browser mode in a second. It doesn't really matter for this demonstration. And here it is. Everything seems exactly as it is in the website. You might notice a few little changes here or there, but to me that looks pretty spot on. I'm then able to change things and just have a quick look. The layers seem pretty clean. Everything seems pretty clean. What it's not done is bring in any sort of variables or anything like that. It's literally just taken the raw color. Now my app is built in Tailwind. I don't know if that's something to do with it. If you were using SAS or something like that, it'd be interesting to see how it does. But my understanding is that the AI will just interpret whatever the source is. It will just say, take this color and make it a Tailwind color. So it could be quite easy for the designer to deviate from the intended coded variables and things like that. That will be something that you can maybe sort out with the Figma MCP. And I just want to labor on this point in case there's any confusion. Claude doesn't discriminate what coding language you're using, what CSS, anything about the code. It doesn't care. It's Claude's job to consider what the design is and translate that to whatever code base you're using, whatever CSS framework you're using. You don't have to worry about that. The translation is seamless from Figma to whatever code you're dealing with. So I've just swapped these around, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to now select and copy Command L because I'm in the app now, but at Command Shift C when you're in the browser. But Command L there will copy that, and now I can say something like update the hero in Figma on the home page, and then paste that URL. It's really important that you paste the URL. It was really helpful that you paste the URLs. So it's understanding what my project is, Tailwind and this and that, and it's actually going to now do what needs to be done. The hero section shows this. Figma live code is pretty much in sync already. What specifically do you want? And it's picked up the update layout order. So button order. And it's done the swapping of the order. Now, what I was saying was if you're using the app, I don't pay for Figma, but you can go to dev mode and actually copy a script that you can use to give to the AI. Now, ultimately, it's just take this design, put it into code with a link to the URL. It's nothing too fancy. But if you're paying for Figma, there's some quality of life things which starts with actually the installation of the MCP. But anyway, I don't want to get overly technical. That's essentially what it is. And again, I think the addition is the ability to push to Figma. I don't think that was available before. So in theory, you can actually design completely through Claude in Figma. You can tell it to do things in Figma. Why you would do that, I don't know, but the option's there. It's all possible with the MCP. And the reason why I think this is quite crucial is, as I say, a lot of apps are being built nowadays where we're going for a vibe coded route first. It makes more sense to build the prototype and vibe code and get something quickly up and running in by vibe coding it, and then getting a product out there and people using it before worrying about the design. Now, the caveats to that is obviously you're letting the AI do the design, which is kind of obvious, but you're also letting it decide the user experience. And that's something that I think takes a hit in this workflow, that you're not going to get the user experience. You might have to change that later on. So there becomes the first decision that you need to make when you're going to use this workflow, is like, what am I building here, and does it depend on a brand new user experience? Is it something really novel and new that I need to spend time building wireframes to decide on the UX? Now, of course, you can prompt the UX into the vibe coded app and say how you want certain things done, or just vibe code it until you get it right. You know, that's up to you. But from a speed and agility perspective, being able to vibe code something, letting the AI decide the design, let the AI decide the UX, and then just pulling that into Figma later on, is a workflow that I can see coming up time and time again, particularly in apps as they are more functionality and productivity focused over sort of fancy designs. So I do think this is pretty groundbreaking, because I've been on a couple of projects recently where we have got this design that's been, and mostly the UX has been sort of mostly there, and you know, it's easier just to get something out, and then you're left with a vibe coded app where it's like, how do we start to implement and design here? And it's a challenge that I've been posing to a lot of people, and this absolutely solves that. And to me, it doesn't look like the two are necessarily in sync. It's not like you change something and then it automatically changes what to do. I think when you ask it to update something, it just compares the two bits of information it's received, and if there's no obvious similarities between the two, it will ask you about it. It'll be confused. It's not like it's permanently linked to certain sections. It's just a way of using the information in the node IDs from Figma, comparing that against the code on the page that you tell it to, or the area that the file that you tell it to, and it will just compare the two. There's no state between the two. So something to bear in mind, and I think something to help you get the most out of this feature. But ultimately, it's all done through the MCP. Now, let's get a bit more technical about how you go about installing this and getting this up and running yourself. The first thing to realize is that there are two types of MCPs with Figma, and I would say if you're paying for Figma, you're most likely going to run the local MCP. Now, if you go into the documentation here, the remote server is available on all seats on all plans, so it's completely free. The desktop server is available only on the dev seat or full seat. And so here we go. We've got the two MCP servers here. And like I say, you're going to make the first call using the desktop one. And if we scroll down, we should see some code somewhere. You can copy this into Cursor. You can copy this into whatever. Here we go. There's the Cursor one. Or you can add it with Claude Code here. And just quickly break this down. We're adding a new MCP and we're setting the actual protocol to HTTP. We're saying Figma Desktop. This can be whatever you want, but it makes sense to call it Figma Desktop because you can also add the remote one, and there might be reasons why you add the remote one. And then you can see there it's running on localhost. So Figma on your desktop is effectively running on port 3845, and you're accessing the MCP at /MCP. So again, if you've got a paid plan, this is obviously going to be a lot quicker for you to work with. It's not having to remote access a server or anything like that, and this will add it, and then you'll see this pop up when you launch Claude. Well, let's add it. It won't work, but so we're going to add that. And just on this note as well, this automatically added it to the project. Now, if you want to add it to your machine so it's accessible on all projects, maybe you do this a lot, then inside of here, you're going to go -- scope or just -s, and then you're going to, I say user, and there are three types of scopes. You've got user, you've got project, and you've got local. Project is where you're able to share it amongst the other team members if you're pushing this up to Git. So just worth bearing in mind. I'll leave links to the documentation down below. So I actually want this on my user. I want it across all projects, and I can add that now. Now I've kind of got it in two places, so I've kind of messed things up there. But saying that, if we list the MCPs, you can see I've got the Figma one, which I've just been using to demonstrate this demo, and then this one's failed to connect because I'm not a pro. I'm paying for Figma, so I'm not running the MCP. But if you go to settings up here, I think it's somewhere in here. I'll confirm with you where you can, if you've got the paid plan, you can, and you're in dev mode, you can just enable the MCP, and then that one will connect. But I don't have that. I don't need it, so I'm going to go Claude MCP remove Figma desktop S local and S user. So I've removed it in both places. And jumping back here, you've also got the remote MCP, which scrolling down here, you've got the VS Code one. We're interested in the Claude Code one here, and the code is the same. Claude MCP transport HTTP lowercase Figma, no hyphen desktops, we're just calling it Figma, and then we're just linking through to a remote URL. Again, they're mentioning the scope here. Just be mindful, if you want it across all projects, you're going to scope it to user. However, if you just want it for a project, you need to decide whether you want it just to you on this project, which is scoped to local, or whether you want to share it with the team. That's where you would scope it to project, which is the default. You then have to authenticate it, and you can do that by just in Claude Code. If you just type /MCP, it will say here needs authentication. You click on it, you press enter on it, and it will ask it to be authenticated, and everything's good. And then it's simply a case of prompting it. Now, I always tend to mention the MCP. I'll say using the Figma MCP, or something a bit more specific than letting the AI figure out that I want to use the MCP, because then it will just not know what you're talking about, and then you eventually have to prompt it to use the MCP. So to cover all bases, I just say using the Figma MCP. That's just the way I work. So I might say something like, if I new context here. Now we can do two things right now. We can directly tell Claude to export the entire page through the MCP, or we can ask it to allow us to capture, which will bring up that bar that we saw at the top of the page, where you can then select your element and export things piece by piece. We might say something like, allow us to select an element to export to Figma MCP. I'll go to my Figma file and copy the URL and paste that in there. There we go. So now we can capture things section by section, or element by element, or component by component. Now, to capture state, it's probably better to actually go into the dev tools here, select your component or whatever it is that has the state, and trigger that state, and then go ahead and click on that element to send it to Figma. It will then be exported as a state, and you can link that as a variant inside of Figma. Do what you need to do to make this a cohesive kind of design system. Then it's of course about selecting your element inside of Figma, copying the URL in the browser, or if you're in the desktop app, selecting a frame and hitting Command L to copy a link to the frame. And then inside of Claude here, transfer the design from Figma to sponsorship page. And if it is a component, now this website is a very static website, everything's done on one page, but if it's a component, then obviously mention the component with the @ say, I don't know, sponsorship hero. It's not one of those, so we don't have to worry about it. We can just do sponsorship page here, and then paste in the link to the ID. It should figure it out, take care of it, and then you've transferred whatever the changes are inside of Figma into specific components, specific page inside of your website. So interesting. You've reached the MCP tool call limit for your seat plan. You can upgrade for more tool calls here. Now, let's have a little look, because I did not know this was a thing. 6 tool calls a month is kind of tiny, to be honest. And then, of course, you get 200 tool calls per day, and the enterprise is 600 tools a day. So the free plan, you're actually pretty limited on what you can do. So luckily enough, I've kind of finished the demo now, but that's just something worth to take into account if you aren't paying. It's a very, very limited use of this MCP. So there's a full breakdown of how this whole thing is working and why I think it's particularly exciting. I'll definitely be using this. If you have any questions about it, if you have any trouble installing it, let me know down in the comments. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you to all my Patreons who support me directly. And until next time, keep on vibing.